What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to talk to you about Lucid. Market just opened roughly 20 minutes ago. I want to give you a overview of some of the data points, what's moving Lucid, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So Lucid is up a very impressive 8.05%, 206 the low, 222 the high, 38 million shares being traded, 139 is the average. Side note, today the market does close at 1 p.m., so it's a earlier day. And historically, shorts do return on these kind of leading into these long weekends, but not with Lucid. At the time of doing this video, first thing, shorts are increasing 1.44 million shares. So they're trying their very best to suppress Lucid. It's not really working all too well for them, but nonetheless, they are attempting that. 33.26% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 410.1 million shares overall are being shorted. So when it comes down to what is really pushing Lucid higher today, it is their numbers that they did put out. So they did produce 3863 and then they did deliver 3309. So I did a video already after hours yesterday talking about this, on how essentially, in my opinion, this was relatively neutral, which is fair to assume. I think that's what the consensus is as well. But one thing that, or a couple things that, in my opinion, is really helping Lucid move higher today is this right here. So Marc did put on, I believe it is LinkedIn, just of course, just going over and summarizing a lot of the recent stuff. But he did mention this: stay tuned. Lots of exciting things are in the works, with more to come during our earnings call on August the 5th. So I think, again, people are jumping to the conclusion that there is something coming, whether it be a partnership. And Marc seems to be, in my opinion, some people might disagree, he seems like a very straight arrow. And what I mean by that is he doesn't BS. He doesn't like to dangle a carrot. He doesn't like to kind of what Peter has always done, give these Easter eggs. Him saying that most likely does mean that they have a deal or a partnership. So I feel like that's what the market is really assuming. Aside from that, though, the latest flyover does show, I think someone did a count, so the Lucid line, 260 gravities. And I know that was one of the biggest questions, is that based on the most recent sales numbers from June, how come it didn't show any gravities, despite many of the old flyovers showing tons of gravities? In my opinion, I think that's just for studios. That could be one reason why there was no sales. Or, again, as I mentioned, maybe the whole hold up with the EPA type of thing. But nonetheless, latest flyover is very, very good. So hats off to the individual who's doing that. So good stuff. Follow them on whatever, I think it's Twitter and also YouTube, where they post all this information. Definitely, this is a very, very beautiful picture. Aside from that, though, I feel like that's what is really moving Lucid higher. We did have some relatively good data, so non-farm payroll, unemployment, and also initial jobless claims all came in better than anticipated. Unfortunately, that did pop the likelihood of a earlier cut, so now there is only a 6.7% likelihood of that occurring, of a 25 basis point for the July 30th meeting. Yesterday, it was 23.8. So nonetheless, though, good data, of course, is relatively is a good thing for the broader market. So let me know your general thoughts on that in the comments below. But yeah, things are looking pretty a-okay right now. Moving over to the options, you're seeing 241,000 in calls, 51,000 in puts. 60% of all the options being done are bullish in nature, and that is a very big deal. For those of you, again, that watch my videos every day, you know that for the last 2 weeks, all the options have been bearish. So this is the very first time people are actually bullish. So definitely good to see. One thing to keep note of, though, with today and the market close tomorrow, this is essentially the Friday. This is the open interest. So you do have 8,000 at that 2, 15,000 at that 250. So given the circumstances, it's fair to assume that it won't be above 250, but at least it'll have 8,000 at that $2 strike price, so that'll be in the money. Looking at the bulls, you see a consensus for it to be above 250 going into next week. Bears for it to be sub 2. So bears are still anticipating more of a pullback. A lot of big money is getting into Lucid. So these are all the transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. So you had one sell right here, at 837 for 101,000. Aside from that, a lot of buys. Even first thing, you had 582,000, 1.2 million. Darkpool, tons of transactions already, again within the first roughly 20 minutes of the trading day. Right now with it at 223, it is now in breakout territory, so it is trading between this R2 and this R1. 224 is going to be kind of that next strong target slash resistance, followed by 229, 221, and then 216 is going to be the support levels. And most likely one good catalyst, probably won't be coming today because again, given the shorter day, but most likely going into next week, you will see most likely 2 or 3 new analyst ratings. So definitely that would be good and hopefully a lot better than the $3 ratings. So if they come in, let's say at 4, 5, or potentially even higher than that, probably not, but even if they do, that would really push Lucid significantly higher, because for whatever reason, Lucid does react kind of aggressively to a lot of these analyst ratings, such as this. When John did give a $1 sell, Lucid sold off quite significantly because of that. So let me know your general thoughts. Like I said, I think just for face value, a lot of these numbers were somewhat neutral in nature. I think 3,500 and below was going to be seen as bearish, 4,000 and above is going to be seen as bullish, and then between that 35 to 4,000 was going to be neutral. So the fact that they did land 38.63 and the market's buying it up like this, that's good. Like I said, could be because of what Marc mentioned and also the latest flyover, but I could be wrong. Let me know your general thoughts. Are you buying Lucid? Did you buy the dip? I know the last several weeks have been kind of horrific, to be fully fair, and even looking at the prices, you see a lot of red here. So give yourself a shout out if you did buy or whatever else. Even better yet, if you did buy in at that $1.98, that would have been pretty kick-ass, mind you. But nonetheless, hopefully everyone has a good day. To all the Americans out there, happy 4th of July and all the other fun jazz. Stay tuned for my video over the weekend where I go over some expectations, and if there is any crazy changes that does happen today, big transactions, for instance, on the secondary market or the dark pool, shorts do something kind of crazy, I'll do a quick PM video just to kind of pop on and say, hey, this is what happened. Have a good rest of the day. So let me know your general thoughts. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I do give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.